Hello everyone. So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how we can create virtual agent topic with minimum efforts. So to start with, first of all, we have to install the virtual agent plugin in ServiceNow instance. Here I have already installed it. So I'll be starting directly from the designing of the topic. So once the plugin is active, then you will be able to see here the virtual agent module. And if you click on designer, you'll be able to see designer like this, and these are all the out of the box topics available here, the ones which are in red color and marked as read only. uh, those cannot be edited, and if you want to edit those topics, you will have to uh, duplicate them, and you can edit the duplicated ones. Here for the demo purpose, I have created one topic from scratch called report an IT issue. So this is how the flow design looks for this topic. This flow design has been built by using various activities available in the left component of this designer. Here you can see the ones which are in blue color. These are the user input components or the activities. These components include text type, then static choice, reference choice, boolean, and so on. Similarly, for the bot response, we have orange colored activities. Here as well we have text, image, link, HTML, and so on. Then we have the utilities as well, similar to the workflow. By using utilities, you can do the data lookup, then you can write the scripts, you can have the record actions, and so on. Then at the bottom you will see there are different types of variables. We have the input variables, then we have script variables here. I'll explain them when I'll explain this flow design. So before explaining this flow design, I'll show the demo of this topic, how it works. So what report an IT issue topic will do is, like, by using this topic, the user will be able to contact virtual agent, and then the virtual agent will create an incident for that particular user. So to access uh, the virtual agent, you will have to go to the service portal, and if the virtual agent plugin is active, then you will be able to see here the chat option. So here I'll end the previous chat. Okay, so I'll start the conversation once again. So this is our virtual agent, and this is out of the box greeting. I haven't changed it, and this is also out of the box button available here. Show me everything. It gives you all the available active topics on that particular ServiceNow instance. So out of these topics, this is the one which I have developed for the demo purpose, report an IT issue. So either we can select it from here, or we can start typing here the keywords which are related to report an IT issue. If the keyword matches, then virtual agent understands that this particular topic uh, is being called by the user, and the virtual agent starts asking the questions. So here you can see the virtual agent is asking what is the short description of my issue. I'll put the short description as, let's say, I'm not able to access MS Teams. And then the virtual agent is asking when did the issue start. I'll select any date, any time. So here you can see I'm showing the information to the user, like this is the short description you have input, this is the issue start date you have put. So this time here and date time has been converted into the user's time zone, and that is why it is visible different here. Then I have given here different options to the user, like if the user wants to edit the short description, he can. If he wants to edit the issue start date, then he can click here. And if everything is fine, then he can click on all the information is correct. So let's try to edit the short description. Then here the virtual agent will ask like, please enter the short description again. I'll put some similar short description. I'll copy it and let's say I'll add something like, please call me as soon as possible. And then again the virtual agent will ask me to check my details, and now let's say all the information is correct. So I'll click on all the information is correct, and then the virtual agent will show the message that following incident has been created, and here you can see the details of the incident, then short description, and in description I have put all the information here. So here you can see the short description also I have added here, then issue start date is there, and user contact. So this information is something which I did not ask the user. I have taken it from the user's profile, and then the virtual agent is ending the chat. So there are these two messages added here which are coming from two different activities. So at the end the virtual agent is thanking and he is ending the conversation. So this is a simple topic of virtual agent, and now let's see how we can build it. It takes very less efforts. It does not require an expertise in coding. Okay, so we can develop such topics with minimum efforts. So how the flow design has been developed, I'll show you from here. So to start with, you can always go to virtual agent designer, and then you can click on create, and then you can input the information here, name, description, category and type, and then here since we are creating a topic, you will have to select the type as topic, and these are the other topics on which we will not be focusing in this video. So while creating a topic, you can select here as topic and just click on create, and then such topic will be created. And here I'll be explaining like which all activities I have used and how I have achieved the requirement. So to start with, the first activity I have used is text type. Here you can give the name to the activity, and here this is the variable name which gets auto-populated as soon as you put any name. If you put here, let's say like short description, here you will see the variable name is also dynamically generated. So I'll be reloading it. I don't want to change anything. So this is the field of type text. Here you can take the input from the user, and you can have different type of input as well, like email, or if you want IP address or phone number or URL, or even if you want custom type, you can build it here. So, and rest of these options you don't need to concentrate on them at the moment. We are currently checking only the basic requirements which are needed for building a basic topic. So next, so first is This activity is for taking the short description from the user. The another activity is for taking the issue start date from the user. So I took this date time type of activity. I gave it a name. Then I am putting here the prompt like when did the issue start. And here you can select the format as well. If you want only date, you can select date. If you want only time, you can select time as well. Then I want to show this whole information on one activity, and along with that I want to show some options as well to edit the variables. So here I made use of static choice activity. Here you can see I gave it a name like check information, and then I want to give the different options to select. Like for example, here edit short description, edit issues start date, and the last option was all the information is correct. So here you can give the label and their respective values. But before that, before the options, I want to show the information. So here you can see there is one option to add the header to those choices. I activated that option, and here we can give one header card uh, above the options, which will show the complete information input by the user. So here you don't need to worry of anything about anything. This whole JSON structure is pre-built. This is out of the box given by ServiceNow. What I have done here is I have just generated the description part here. So whatever we will put in the description, that will be visible into the header card of the choice list activity. So for that, I first generated the date time. So now how did I generate the date time? I first of all, I created the local variable called date time, and then va input dot start date. So what is start date? You will see from this activity, and here is the start date. This is the variable which we have used here in this activity. To access any variable or to access the value of any variable which is input by the user, you will have to make use of one object called va input. So similarly, let's say if I want to access the short description, then I'll access it like va input dot sd in the script. So let's see again here in the header part how we have accessed the short description. Va input dot sd. Then we are accessing the issues start date as well. So what I have done here is simply I have taken the date time into one variable, and I'm assigning that variable here into the s time, and then I'm just adding these two I'm concatenating these two strings here, and I'm passing that whole information as a string to description part. We don't need to make any changes into this JSON structure, because this is how this activity expects this JSON structure to be. We will not touch anything else. So now, since we have added these three options into this activity, then we should be able to do something as soon as we click on those activities. So for that, from the utilities, we have used this decision activity, and in the decision activity we can add any number of branches here by clicking on the plus sign, and then let's say we click on, let's say, edit short description. Then this is the branch, and here you can give the condition like short description and what is the branch condition. Here you can have similarly again here va inputs dot check information dot get value. If it is edit SD, then the flow will go in this direction. How did we check that? Is VA inputs dot check information dot get value is edit SD. We checked that with this, and this is what we have added here. VA inputs dot check information dot get value is equal to edit SD, then return true, and then in that case we have second input text activity. Here the virtual agent will again ask the user to input the short description again, and then the next activity we have is set this short description. So what we want to do here is whichever the short description has been input here, that should be set to the short description again. So what we are doing here is the VA input.sd, which is the first short description, into that we are storing the value of new short description, and we are just saving that, and this branch will again go to this activity and it will show again the updated information of the incident which is input by the user. So similarly we will do for the short description as well. If you check these activities, we have done the same thing here as well. If you check the branch condition as well, you will see here the same thing we have done. VA input.check information .get value is edit SD, ISDT, sorry, then return true, and then it will go back to the information. And then again, for all information to be correct, we have this condition. If this value is equal to all correct, then the third branch will get propagated. And then here we have used the script action activity again to generate the description. So this is how we have generated the description here. Short description, VA input.sd, then again issue start date we have, and then here we have the user contact. We haven't taken any user information through virtual agent, but here we are taking this contact information from the user object. So with the VA input object, we have the user object is also accessible. So we can access the user information by using VA input.user.any field on the user form. So here I am taking the mobile phone from the user profile, and this is how we are accessing the user contact. Now this is the second type of variable. First type of variable we have seen is VA inputs. The second type of variable is VA vars. So VA vars is a type of variable which can be defined in one activity and can be used in different activity or another subsequent activity. This is something similar to the workflow.scratchpad variable, and this is the variable which we have created, vavars.sDescription. I'll save this, and then you can see here I have made use of record action activity here, and here we are directly creating an incident. Action type is create record. From here you can select whether you want to create or update the record. You can select the table, and here you can select the fields which can be updated. So here you can see for short description we have selected the short description. How we can select is from this option. We can go here and you can go to the input variables, and from here you can select the short description, and then this field will be a dynamic field and which will be taking the value from the SD variable. Similarly, for description field we can do the same, but here we don't want to take anything from the input variables. We want to take from the script variable. Since we have generated the description in the script, we will have to go with the script variables. So here you will see in the script variables this S description variable is there, which we can select, and which we can reuse in this activity. But this variable to be available here, we have to do some configuration, and here we can do that configuration here at the bottom. In the script part, you will have to click on plus, and here you will have to create that variable. Let's say S description, and you can provide the default value as well if you want. If you don't want to pass, you can leave it blank. Here I have already created this variable, and I have initialized that variable in this activity here as description. Now since this variable is available here, we can use that variable here in the create incident activity. If we hadn't configured that variable in the script variables, then at that time this variable or this script variable wouldn't be available here for the selection, and that is why it is important to create or configure that variable in the script variables. And then in the response, I have made use of the text type of activity, and into that I have mentioned this text like following incident has been created, and then the incident card. So at the end we were showing the incident card, and on that card we were showing different fields. So this is the card activity available. You can reuse that activity, and here you can select, you can give the name, then card type can be record or large image or YouTube video card, anything you can select here, but we just wanted to show the record, and that is why we have selected card type as record. Populate this card by referencing a record. So which record we will have to reference is create incident, which is this one. So this activity we have selected here, and on the card which field should be visible, that we'll have to select. So we can select here number, short description, and description. And that is why if you take a look at this, you will see here on the card these three fields were available: number, short description, and description. So this is how we have developed this basic and simple topic in virtual agent. And for development of such a topic, we don't need scripting expertise. The person with less scripting knowledge can also build such basic topic in ServiceNow. So for this video, we will be seeing only this part. The next part, in the next video, we will be seeing the natural language understanding and the different languages support. Like for example, if the user puts any phrase here, let's say instead of putting any keywords, if the user puts directly like I'm not able to access the internet or something, any phrase related to his issues, then the virtual agent has ability to identify that phrase, and from that phrase the virtual agent can identify the topic that we will be seeing in the next video. And also virtual agent supports different languages as well. Like if the user doesn't speak English language, if he speaks, let's say, any language other than English, then in that case the virtual agent will respond to that user into that particular language, whichever language is specified on the user's profile. I hope that this video will be helpful for the developers who are looking to develop or who are starting with the virtual agent. And thank you very much.